Yo, what's going on guys? Arekkz here, and in today's video I am going to be unboxing the PlayStation VR. I am honestly so excited for this. Some of you guys might remember that I've done a few videos a while back now when I had a chance to go hands-on with the PlayStation VR, way back when it was called Morpheus in fact. And since then I've tried some of the other VR headsets as well. I've tried the HTC Vive, I also own the Oculus Rift, so it's fair to say that I am kind of into my VR, but this one is honestly by far the one that I'm most excited for, simply because it's the easiest one to set up, doesn't require an insanely high-spec PC, and the games and the experiences I've had on the PSVR have, in my opinion, been much more exciting. So, definitely excited for this one. I want to give a massive shout out to the guys over at PlayStation because they sent me this. They sent me the VR, the new PS4 camera, and some Move controllers because, of course, I'll need them for some games. So, massive shout out to them. Super appreciate that. But in this video, we're going to be unboxing it, and then over the coming days and weeks, I will be putting up some VR gameplay on both this channel and my second channel. So, keep it locked to both channels. And we'll be running through some different games. There are some that I can show you guys this week, some that I'll have to wait until next week. So for things like Rigs and Drive Club, hang tight for those, they will be coming. But for the time being, let's dive in. So if you do enjoy this, like to be super appreciated, comment down below. Let me know if you guys are excited for VR, maybe you guys are going to be picking this up as well. But either way, let's get started with in fact, before we dive into the headset, let's open this box here. This is just a special box that PlayStation sent me alongside all this stuff. It's like an acrylic case on the outside that says, "Live the game." And if you open it up, it's got a really cool book inside. On the front, it's got this sort of hologram, so you can see this person putting his headset on and off. And then in the back of it, it's actually got some codes for me, so I can download some of the different games to test out. So I've already redeemed them, so don't worry about that. But the book itself, if we just sort of flick through a few of the pages, it basically tells you a bit about the headset, some of the stuff behind it, some of the games, the experiences, all that stuff. So it's a really nice book, but that was just sort of like an extra thing they sent over, so I just thought I'd share that with you guys. Anyway, turning our attention to the box itself. So of course you can see on the right hand side, the headset looks super awesome. Also the most comfortable headset that I've used to date, but I'll speak more about that a little bit later. If we turn it around to the side, you can of course see some of the experiences that are available in VR. And if we then go to the back, you can see that inside this, it actually comes with a free demo disc. So if you guys are going to pick this up, then you will have some experiences you can try out. The demo disc includes 8 different experiences. So you have a demo for Rigs, for VR Worlds, Drive Club VR, Tumble VR, Battlezone, Eve Valkyrie, Headmaster, and Wayward Sky. So we'll be checking out some of those over the course of the next few days. And of course, on the right hand side, it gives you the contents, but we are going to be taking a look at that anyway. So let's just dive in. So once you take off the cardboard sleeve, open up the box, then the very first thing you'll be presented with is the setup guide. Now, generally speaking, it's pretty straightforward to follow, but it's still worth paying attention because there are lots of different cables with this. Some of them going to the TV, some going to your console, and especially if you guys are YouTubers and you're recording, then a quick tip for you guys, the Elgato goes in between the TV and the unit, not between the unit and the console, so remember that. But anyway, below that you then have all the different cables you need. So on the left hand side, this is your standard power cable. Then on the box in the right hand side, this includes a lot of different cables. You have some earbuds, so of course if you're going to want to use these with your VR headset, you can put an actual headset on top. So if you do prefer audio quality from like over-the-ear headphones, they are an option. You can fit them over, but you do get earbuds if you want them. There's also a USB cable, which is used to connect the VR unit to the console. There's the power brick, which will power the VR unit, and you also have the VR unit itself. Now this big block here, this is the necessary part. If you want to use the VR headset, it all has to run through here, so this is very important. On the front you have 2 slots, and this is where the VR kind of extension cable goes in. You plug it into there, and there's a cable that then plugs into the headset, so that goes in the front, so it's kind of easy to access. And on the back you have HDMI in and out ports, so as mentioned, Elgato, if you're going to record, intercepts the TV one, you then have the other one goes to your PS4, your USB cable, and your power cable. So pretty standard, set it up somewhere, good to go. And then of course in there we also have loads of paperwork. We have the demo disc. There's a nice microfiber cloth if you want to clean the lenses, especially if you're going to be sharing the headset between people in your family. Then you want to make sure that you kind of clean the headset afterwards. Then you've got a few other cables, and as mentioned, one of those cables is the really long extension cable for the headset that connects it to the unit. So if you do want to stand up and move away from your console, that is what you're going to need to use. So all of that out of the way, massive mess on my desk, taking out the headset, this is the main event. And I mentioned before that this is the most comfortable headset I've used to date. The nice thing I like about the PlayStation VR headset is how evenly distributed the weight feels. Something I've found in the past when using, say, Oculus Rift, is that the front part of the unit, because it's got elastic straps, it's quite heavy on the front of your head. So after long periods of use, you do kind of sort of feel that weight on the front of your head. But because the PSVR headset is so light, you actually get to the point where you kind of forget that you've got it on. And the way in which you focus it is super simple, super easy. So you generally speaking have a really clear picture, and it's just very comfortable to use. For those of you guys that want to know how it works, then basically there's a button on the bottom of the headset which you use to kind of pull the headset forward and backward, and that's how you can make sure that it's snug against your face and you have a nice clear focus. And you then have a dial on the back which you can use to basically make the headset tighter so it fits around your head, and it's as simple as that. Once you've then got that, you plug it all in, run through the setup on your console, and you are good to go. And that's basically all there is to it. So, with that out of the way, let's take a super quick look at the other things. Of course, you're going to need a camera if you're going to be using the PSVR headset. This, of course, supports VR. It's now a cylindrical shape instead, more compact than before. It's got an adapted frame so you can hold it, but this is, of course, a necessary part of VR, so you're going to need a PlayStation camera. And, of course, you also have the Move controllers too. I'm not going to go into these in depth because you guys have seen Move controllers before. They're not exactly new, but they do have a lot more use in VR. In fact, I feel like Move controllers were made for VR. They feel right using them in VR games, but when you just wave around in front of a screen you don't have a VR headset on, that's when I kind of feel like they're a little bit out of place. Either way, that's everything that was sent in the package, and that is a quick look at the PSVR headset. As mentioned, I'm going to have plenty of VR videos on both this channel and the second channel over the coming days and weeks, so do stay tuned for those. Massive shout out again to PlayStation for sending this my way. Thank you very much for that. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop some comments down below. Let me know your thoughts. But thanks for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.